Hello my children, my name is Eros and I apologize if my lighting looks a little weird at the moment. My fill light got busted and now I can't use it. Yes, I do use lighting for these videos and now I can only use this one tiny ring light as my key light. I put my Cash App in the description as always in these videos. Please give me money so I can afford a better fucking ring light. For this video, I'm going to be going into an extremely infamous internet urban legend. Today we're going to be talking about the video game supposedly from the deep web known as Sad Satan. So fun fact, Sad Satan is actually one of my old childhood traumas, and it used to scare the fuck out of me when I was a kid. But now that I'm not a stupid 12-year-old, I wanted to use this video as a way to look back on Sad Satan and see if it still holds up. So without further ado, let's look back on Sad Satan. Sad Satan's first ever appearance on the internet was through a series of uploads from the YouTuber known as Obscure Horror Corner. He uploaded 5 parts of gameplay of a video game he supposedly found on the deep web known as, well, Sad Satan. The gameplay itself is just a really mundane walking simulator with trippy black and white visuals. Everyone you see kind of talk about this game hypes it up to be like the scariest game on the internet, and it's like, I don't know if I'm an asshole or if I really am just not scared of shit anymore, but it's like I genuinely just can't fake the hype around how scary it is. Sad Satan uses a lot of popular songs and stock sound effects. It distorts this audio by pitching it down, reversing it, or just outright peaking the audio levels as a cheap way to disorient the player through auditory overstimulation. It also likes to throw other cheap punches through jump scares. The game likes to flash images of random people. These images are actually important, but I'm not going to be explaining those images until later on in this video. As you're going to find out, the context actually does run pretty deep, but as of right now, the videos in passing are just short, sweet, and simple. There's not even a description in any of these videos. Or so I thought. Looking at OHC's uploads of Sad Satan, you'll notice that there's no descriptions in any of the videos except for part 1. For some reason, part 1 has 3 dots, and this is a little too out of character for OHC. If you look at his older uploads, you'll see that there's a description talking about what this game is and his opinion on it. So out of curiosity, I went to use the Wayback Machine and I found out very thankfully that I'm not going insane. Not because of this, and OHC did in fact actually include a description in his uploads of Sad Satan. That being said, only part 1 has its description archived. I can't really say for certain if the other parts had descriptions too, and that's not even like mentioning the fact that part 5 is like just completely wiped off the face of YouTube. I don't know if it violated like guidelines in any way or if it just got taken down for copyright, but here's what Jamie has to say about Sad Satan in part 1.
Found this game on the deep web link and any information on it will be greatly appreciated. Downloaded it a month or so ago and started playing recently. I call it Sad Satan because the download was called that. There isn't actually a title screen or anything else to suggest the name, so I'm just calling it that. Strange feel to the game and there doesn't seem to be any aim. I just wandered around and got teleported into different sections. Nothing really happened, but it has an odd feeling about it and kinda freaks me out. There is more to come on this. I have a few more videos recorded and the game just is getting more bizarre. I don't think I finished the game, but I did delete it because it was getting a bit strange, and the notepad file that went along with the game kept appearing on my desktop each time I played the game with some gibberish messages.
OHC also includes the onion link to the Sad Satan game file.
If you want to try the game, use Tor and download the game here. Don't download at your own risk. I did a check on the file and it seemed okay, but it is a deep web file, so it may contain viruses or something that I haven't picked up when I downloaded it. I deleted it as soon as I was done with it in case there was anything wrong with it.
On July 1st, about a month or so after OHC posts his gameplay of Sad Satan, he would then be interviewed by Patricia Hernandez from the gaming journalism website known as Kotaku.com. It's here from this interview that we learn that OHC's real name is actually Jamie. This is what Jamie has to say when he explains how he came across the Sad Satan video game.
I don't use the deep web too often. But a month or two ago, a subscriber sent me a link and said they found something creepy and cool that I would be interested, which I of course was. I did a malware check and other virus stuff on the file and it seemed okay, so I just shot ahead with it.
Hernandez also interviews the supposed subscriber that gave Jamie the link to Sad Satan. Here's what the subscriber tells Hernandez.
I first found out about the game on the deep web forum. It's like an all-purpose site. All your usual forums can be found there. Tech help, reviews, fitness, things like that, plus some original content. That was the first time I had seen a game posted on the site. The user never specified whether it was his own content or someone else's, but I presume it was the user's game. He signed off his post with ZK.
According to the subscriber, this ZK character is a frequent user of these forums and he's often seen posting an edgy comment or two.
I have seen other posts signed off with ZK, mostly comments, which were very odd. Some of the stuff ZK posted before was pretty weird. Dark views, satanic mumbo jumbo. Whether it's nefarious or all in good fun, I can't really say.
So the supposed reason that this subscriber sent Jamie the link to Sad Satan is because he couldn't get it to run on his computer himself. As Hernandez puts it,
apparently, the entire reason that he shared the game with Jamie was because he couldn't get the game to run on his own computer. So he, like the rest of us, can only experience the game secondhand.
a day after the article was published, enough people got together to form the Sad Satan subreddit, which was dedicated to determining the origins of this game and who made it. The more people dug into this game, the more that skepticism began to fly regarding the legitimacy of Jamie's deep web backstory to Sad Satan. As you may recall from earlier in this video, I did mention that Jamie did include the onion link to Sad Satan in the description of his video. Well, that onion link became a point of contention. And because of that, I want you guys to look at this link yourselves and try to figure out what might be wrong with it. I'll give you a few seconds, no pressure. Can't find anything, right? That's okay, I wasn't expecting you to. The thing that people pointed out about this onion link would fly directly over the heads of those who aren't as adversed in the knowledge of how just onion links are formatted and how deep web browsers work. So according to Jamie, he either gave us a bum link, altered an actual onion link, or just outright made up an onion link in order to cover his tracks. He supposedly didn't want anyone else to download this game like he did, because doing so means that they would have access to highly illegal material. It appears that from this point onward, the Sad Satan buzz begins to finally die. Thanks to the link discrepancy, people began to theorize and pretty much grow comfortable with the idea that Jamie might have been behind Sad Satan. He was behind the gameplay, behind the story, everything was fake, and he was just doing it to get attention to his channel, which, I mean, yeah, it worked. I mean, he went down with his ship, but it worked. End of story, right? Unfortunately, no, because this is only just the beginning. On July 7th, an anonymous user on 4chan would upload a mega link to the paranormal, or X, forums on 4chan. He also has a message accompanying this mega link.
What you see on YouTube is right. Don't believe that you were obscure horror corner. He did not show you what was truly in this game.
It's important to note that this user signs off his post with the initials ZK. Guys, could this be the same ZK that posted the original Sad Satan onto the deep web? Personally, I don't fucking know, and probably not, because the Kotaku article mentions those initials first. This could just be some edgelord trying to get notoriety off of the name, and hell, I could even be fucking ZK, although I'd rather not implicate myself like that given the things I'm going to be talking about in the next 10 seconds. The Sad Satan floodgates had been reopened, and people were downloading this new version left and right. Most notably, the YouTuber Mudahar, Some Ordinary Gamers, my inspiration, actually, posted his gameplay of it and found out the hard way what this game contains. ZK's copy of Sad Satan contains gore and potentially CP. Not only were people downloading something with possibly highly illegal content on it, it had a bunch of nasty malware and a lot of viruses that would essentially brick your computer. There was a lot of people posting on the subreddit about their computers shutting down because of this copy. And on top of all this shit, a Reddit user by the name of ScareBearZK began to go around causing havoc in the Sad Satan subreddit. He was just posting ominous, edgy messages to the subreddit and just anywhere else that just mentioned Sad Satan. He also posts the occasional Hail Satan comment or two. That being said, a lot of his comments aren't archived and they're all gone, so I'm kind of just telling you these things based on what other people have said about the history of Sad Satan. So to summarize, Obscure Horror Corner, aka Jamie, posts about this video game he found on the deep web named Sad Satan. The original notoriety of this game dies until some weird troll decides to dig Sad Satan up from his grave and ruin the fun by claiming he has the original Sad Satan that has a lot of illegal shit on it and just ruins computers. So now we have two versions of Sad Satan out in the world. We have Jamie's copy, and then we have ZK's extremely illegal copy of Sad Satan. If you recall earlier in this video, I kind of just skimmed over the gameplay because everyone does it. I wanted to actually go more in depth by comparing and contrasting the images and sound bites that are used between both Sad Satan games. The first thing I'd like to mention before we get into this is that Jamie's version of Sad Satan does not exist in any kind of game file form. What we see of Jamie's footage of Sad Satan is the only proof of existence of this version of Sad Satan. The ZK version is nothing more than a half-assed copy of the original, and it's the Sad Satan you're going to be seeing everyone playing on the internet. Firstly, we're going to go over the images and audio files that are used in both games. The first image I'd like to talk about is this picture of notorious sexual predator Jimmy Savile, or Savile. He's fucking British, that's all that matters. The second image is of an Australian musician and convicted pedophile Rolf Harris. And then finally, the last image to be shared in both of these games is the mugshot of the otaku killer Zomu Miyazaki. If you don't know, he murdered, cannibalized, and molested the corpses of 4 little girls in the late 80s. Now we move on to the audio files that are used in both of these games. First off, we have sweet.wav. This audio file depicts a little girl talking in reverse, but it's actually also the audio file to the weird ice cream truck sounding jingle that'll play randomly in the gameplay. The original audio is a Swedish rhapsody and the girl talking in reverse is just counting in Swedish. Jim.wav is an audio file of Jimmy Savile talking about some kind of law. He might have been defending another sexual predator in this context, I don't remember exactly.
There's nothing wrong with it, you haven't broken any laws, have you?
None whatsoever.
Next up is der Scream.wav. This fucking audio file, supposedly of a real woman getting murdered, is actually one of the most overused stock sound effects in this kind of horror media. As someone who does my own sound design, I've heard this audio in so many things such as Suicide Mouse and fucking Slendy Tubbies.
Hopefully it'll lead me.
Hong Kong Reverse.wav. I decided to save the best for last because this is the goofiest audio that is used in both of these games. This audio file is specifically used as the menu theme to the ZK copy of Sad Satan, but it does show up randomly in Jamie's version of Sad Satan as you're playing. If you couldn't tell by the name, this audio file is actually reverse audio of the theme song to another weird-ass video game known as Hong Kong 97, and it is an absolute fucking banger. Now we're going to be talking about the files exclusive to Jamie's copy of Sad Satan. Starting off with images, we have this iconic photo. It's just of a hunter posing with his trophies. He is a really, really dedicated deer hunter. I can't understand the creepy overtones of this image. Jamie's Sad Satan also shows us images like Baphomet, Ave Satanas, JFK before his head gets blown off, and shows a picture of Lady Justice for some reason, without her blindfold too, and then another image of convicted pedophile Roman Polanski. And then moving on to the audio exclusive to Jamie's copy of Sad Satan, first off we have Led Zeppelin's Stairway to Heaven. If this audio sounds familiar to you, that's because I played it in the beginning of this video. This is where supposedly Sad Satan gets its name from, which is kind of funny that it's only in this version of Sad Satan because you'd think that it would show up in the ZK copy given its importance to this game as a whole. The Jamie copy of Sad Satan also uses audio from Hitler, Charles Manson, and just uses other stock sound effects of people in distress or just people that are crying. Finally, and unfortunately, we have to talk about ZK's copy of Sad Satan. In the game files, we have a series of images labeled G1 through G5, and these are very brutal gore pictures of decapitations. G1 is the aftermath of a child whose head got crushed underneath a tractor or a truck, I believe. G2 and G3 are crime scene photos of the torso killer. G4 is some beheaded animal. I want to say a dog, but I really hope it's not the case. And then G5 gets the most talked about out of these photos because this is the supposed CP photo. Even if it was somehow justifiable to find it and say that it was for the sake of research, I'm still gonna outright refuse to do so. There's just gotta be lines in the sand you gotta draw when talking about and researching this kind of content. Whether or not this shit is real, first off, I don't want to find out it is and then have it on my conscience. Second, I don't want to fucking go to jail because I looked at something I wasn't even supposed to be looking at. So, I'm going to be taking the subreddit's word and just believe that when they say it's CP, it is CP, and I'm just going to move on from there. And then the only audio file that's exclusive to this ZK copy of Sad Satan is alab2.wav. This is a slowed down version of Alabama Song by The Doors. I was really surprised to find out that this audio was exclusive to the ZK version because I could have sworn I heard it in Jamie's copy of Sad Satan, but I guess I'm just fucking stupid. I don't know. So I'd like to put a pin in all of this for now, and I'd like to add another point that gets added to the conversation. In fact, there's still a lot of back and forth regarding whether or not this shit is true to this day. There's an old YouTube channel named Scare Bear that is attached to the lore of Sad Satan. This channel at some point, like way before Jamie made his Sad Satan uploads, posted a video of his own known as Sad Satan. It is nothing more than an edgy post with shitty Michael's Arts and Crafts masks and fake blood implying that the creator of this video murdered somebody. The name of this channel is an important point in this conversation because if you recall from earlier, I mentioned a user by the name of ScareBearZK going around Reddit causing all of his havoc. There's a theory out there that this Scare Bear is the same Scare Bear that's causing all this shit on Reddit. Another point that's a part of this conversation is the creator himself of this Scare Bear YouTube channel. In the last ever upload to this YouTube channel, we find out the creator of this whole account is actually a man by the name of Gary Graves. And Gary Graves actually got arrested in June of the same year for child pornography charges. If it sounds like Gary Graves and his weird little YouTube channel line up a little too perfectly with the story of Sad Satan, that's because it does. And all of this shit is purely a coincidence. The ZK Reddit account was made like weeks after Gary was arrested. It's kind of stupid that people overlook the fact that it would be pretty much impossible for Gary to be making the posts that he's supposedly commenting on when he's in jail right now. Even worse, people started pissing their pants because this Scare Bear account also references a car accident involving Graves and his girlfriend. And it's like, dude, if this guy, if his like arrest is made public, people can just go on the internet and search up this dude and see what else he's involved in. Literally anyone can just search this shit up and make it a very obvious, really shitty red herring. I will say, Graves getting arrested, a little too coincidental. But he has nothing to do with the creation of this ZK copy of Sad Satan. I didn't even mention this, but this channel actually shows up in the Kotaku article. So whoever's behind the Scare Bear ZK account could have just taken inspiration and decided to steal both ZK and Scare Bear and get notoriety off of it. This is like another level to the guy on 4chan calling himself ZK. Hell, this probably is ZK from 4chan. Another rumor that kind of gets bunked up with Graves is this idea that Jamie might have been ZK, and that also leads to people thinking that Jamie might have also been Gary Graves, and it's like, hell no. Like, Jamie did for a fact make his copy of Sad Satan. Like there's like the only evidence is like this like file that's on the ZK copy that links back to a folder named like Jamie's documents or something, but there's no official screenshot, so I'm not going to perpetuate that idea. Personally, I do think that Jamie made his copy of Sad Satan, but the ZK copy and everything, all this baggage with it, is entirely separate from him. This is just some fucked up troll ruining the fun for everyone else. Ultimately, I'm going to empathize with Jamie. All he wanted was to start some sort of internet rumor to get people coming to his channel. It worked, but it worked a little too good because the wrong people decided to take it for themselves and ruin it. I'd like to mention that there's actually a safe version of the ZK copy of Sad Satan out there. PewDiePie actually played this copy of Sad Satan, and he was horribly confused by the images that were flashing on screen.
What a fucking...
I'm sorry for those who were expecting a part 4 to the Great Fetish Iceberg. I'm not gonna lie, I put it on the back burner because I got really bad burnout while I was working on it. To make up for that, I wanted to give you guys at least something for the new year, so now we have this video. If you liked my coverage of this topic and are still a little fascinated by the things I might have forgotten to cover on here, you can go to the Sad Satan subreddit. It's pretty much just an archive of all the shit that happened as it happened and as stuff got, like, off the rails, pretty much. And with that, we are finally done with this video. Hopefully by the next video I'll have a new ring light that covers the shadows on my face because I really hate looking at them for this video. If you like this video, like, comment, and subscribe. Happy New Year's. And thank you to the 200 people that still watch my stuff after the iceberg content. I can't thank you enough because you're all the reason that I'm still trying to do this shit. I love you all. Till then, I'll see you guys around. Bye-bye.